Welcome. Hello.
Episode 2, Real Deal TV.
Thank you for coming along with us on this journey. Uh, this is actually the second take, and I had a really heartfelt, nice thing to say last time.
It was really
But
nice.
we got a ton. We got a ton of views, and for not doing it for almost 2 years, it's very unexpected. So thank you. Um, what we want to do with this show is kind of take it in the direction of a Collider movie talk style show where it's we can't do it every day because we have jobs and lives, and there's also just not enough news happening right now to do that. But we want it to be kind of a more real type show with good production and all that stuff. So eventually things are going to get a lot better, and it's going to look better, sound better, have graphics and all that kind of shit. So
Just give us some time.
thanks for coming along.
It'll take
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Thank you to our first 100 and something subscribers. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
I feel like on Twitch, I feel like people that first 50 is like, yes, I got 50. Let's go. So,
Right.
we doubled that after the first one. So,
yeah.
good.
It was nice to see when the video premiered, all the chat going on. So everyone that was watching it live, quote unquote. Thank you. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was
see.
very cool.
So,
Thanks. We'll probably do that every time, right? With a premiere type thing.
I guess I don't really know how. Does it always have to premiere that way?
No.
Or can you just toss it up?
We can just toss it up. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Whatever the people want. You know?
Actually, I would actually rather toss it up because that chat goes away.
The comments. Yeah, that's true.
It's not part of the comments, so I would rather have the comments than not. So.
Right on.
All right.
So one piece, let's talk about the one big piece of news that just broke today.
So we'll talk about the actual movie later.
Yeah.
But Wonder Woman 3 was greenlit with Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot, and says that it will take place in the current DC timeline, as in right now, or after. I don't know, after which Justice League will it take place after?
Yeah, and is it going to come out before or after Flash, which is probably going
to
do and undo lots of stuff.
If it happens, Like we said last time, we've been talking about it for a few years, so.
I know. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, I guess it's only fitting. I think, they deserve a fitting end to the trilogy that they're making. Since it's now
I certainly think they deserve. I think they deserve another try.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
They deserve a second try.
Second try. Second squared try.
Yeah, they. All right. Anyway, so like I said earlier, the state of the entertainment industry is pretty. The news comes like that. You'll get DC fandom, you'll get the Disney investor call, and that'll happen on one day, and then you'll go a month with no news. So.
And then you get Tom Cruise yelling at people, and that's awesome.
I think just like Christian Bale, I think he's right.
Absolutely.
He's right. If it wasn't for the Scientology, everyone would be backing him, which actually a lot of people are.
But yeah, I've seen more pro Tom Cruise meltdown tweets than anything.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody saying like he was wrong to do that.
We stand TC.
Absolutely.
So
we've been done standing Tom Cruise.
Through thick and thin.
Absolutely.
Through Mummy and through Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah. That was easy. So, Mummy was difficult. All right. So I think maybe we start by talking about Soul, since it's probably going to be the easiest one. Yeah. It was incredible.
So Soul. I actually had to watch it in parts because
baby.
No, actually, we started it last night at like 8:00, and by 8:30 we were very tired. So we watched about half an hour. It had nothing to do with the movie itself. Like we were like, I want to keep watching, but I just can't.
That's just parent shit, you know?
So yeah, so we went to bed and then we picked it up again this afternoon and finished it. And it, first of all, it wasn't the movie that I assumed it would be.
Not
at all. And I actually didn't really know what I assumed it would be. I thought the jazz part would be more,
especially
like
in
a bigger
the first
part of it.
In the first 10 minutes, it was like, ooh, this is going to be like the Pixar jazz movie. Like with the score and everything, with like him just walking, and it's like,
yeah,
like
exactly.
That's what I thought we were getting into for the whole thing. And then, focus here. There it is. And the first trailer I saw, I was like, fuck, they're gonna do this to me again, you know?
I know, right?
Like, just
especially Pixar loves to like slap you over the head with some like dealing with your own mortality shit. Like, first 5 minutes of Up, all of Coco, and then this. You know,
and they do it better than most.
Even Toy Story 3 is
Toy
kind
Story
of the
3
same.
big time. But it's incredible how much better they do it than most like adult dramas.
Well, and this is the kind of thing that we talk about when we say, you know, it's not fair to put Into the Spider-Verse against the Spider-Man movies, or it's not fair to put Mask of the Phantasm against other Batman movies, because it's like you can do whatever you want with animation. There's no, like, if you make a bad animated movie, I feel like that's your fault completely.
But
like,
with Soul's case,
you can do anything you want.
The imagination that went into like the treadmill into like that. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can only do that in animation, but like they did that.
No, that right. And the thing that I actually said to Shannon when we were watching it, Disney, I don't know how they do. I mean, obviously they're very creative people, but between this and Coco, they were able to deal with two movies specifically about death while not addressing religion.
Straight up.
Coco is straight up, that's Catholic stuff. You know, I mean, a lot of it has to do with like indigenous tradition and religion and stuff, but all that Mexicans are Catholics basically, and you kind of sidestep the whole thing, which is genius. And same with Soul, like you kind of get past, like, by calling it an astral plane, it's not heaven, it's not purgatory, it's not hell, they get around it in like a really creative way, and I really appreciate that about those movies.
Yeah, the little soul babies just sang hell over and over and over and over and over again. Yeah. It was driving the point home that it's like kind of that hell isn't real, and also that it's not so bad.
Right. And then
it wasn't a curse word to them, because it's like, this isn't
real. And the movie doesn't ever show you the great beyond, so they don't have to, like, there's no stakes in like saying what it is.
Yeah, which one?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Which heaven? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, the movie's super creative. It's I don't know. I really like when Pixar does the real world as opposed to like I don't know, like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Like Monsters Inc. or something like that, or like Coco, Soul. I almost said Soul Plane. Soul. I'm trying to think of another one. Even Wall-E. Where they do like the world that you know.
I instantly felt like it was the most visually striking. Maybe like Coco as well. It was like Wall-E, Coco, Soul are kind of in a league of their own in the Pixar world.
I would say that those three are probably maybe in the top tier. Maybe the first Incredibles is in there.
Ratatouille is number one.
Ratatouille. I was a late bloomer to Ratatouille.
That was, but like, I feel like if No Country for Old Men did not come out that year, that could have won Best Picture.
There was a shot in Soul where 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 Joe is still in the gown, the hospital gown, and he's on the street in New York, and it has that like, it shows from like, I don't know, maybe 20 feet back, and the background is kind of blurry, like the way a real camera would do it.
Yeah.
And it's moving like a real camera would do it. I don't know. It felt real. It felt like real filmmaking.
Yeah. The real world stuff, I 100% agree with. Like, and just like the way people looked, like the way Joe looked, I was so pleasant to me.
I love the way the barber, I forget his name, the way he looked. I was like, I know a guy that looks just like that.
Was that Donnell Rollins from Chappelle's Show as the voice?
Oh, it might have been. I don't know. I didn't know who the voices were except for Jamie Foxx. I don't know who else voiced what.
22 was Tina Fey.
Oh, really?
Terry was from Hunt for the Wilder People, the corrections officer.
Yeah, it seemed like all of them were some kind of New Zealand or Australia.
Richard Ayoade was the main Jerry from the IT crowd.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm not.
Are you into the IT crowd?
I watched the first season. It's incredible.
It's so good. I got into it. I was a big in the Big Bang Theory the first couple seasons. Actually, I'm into the Big Bang Theory all the way.
You can just be proud of it now.
I legit cried in the series finale.
I started it because of your recommendation, and because it was on HBO Max. Yeah. But then I started watching Doctor Who, and it was game over. But I did like it. I did like what I saw. Big Bang Theory is good.
It's honestly it's dumb. I know it's dumb, but I feel good watching it.
I'm with you.
I don't know. I feel good. But anyway, when the first couple seasons of Big Bang Theory came out and I had them on DVD, someone, it might have been Dom, recommended me the IT crowd. He said it's like British Big Bang Theory kind of thing, and I loved it. That's all.
Yeah, I would like to finish that at some point. I started it this year after starting Doctor Who, and I wanted to talk about this at the end of the show. Somebody asked a Twitter question that correlates to that, so we'll get into that.
Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah, the real world aspect of Soul was just like so pleasant to see.
Yeah,
and it was like, and it was like, because you're watching this animated version of it, you're kind of seeing the world through 22's eyes. Where you're like, wow, that really is beautiful. Like, that really is an aspect of life that you don't think of dated, like regular old living, the way that they emphasize that.
Right.
Really can be this beautiful thing that we take for granted. One of their best movies. Yeah. By far.
My favorite part was, I actually already knew this, but I didn't hear it until I heard it, is my brother is a giant Nine Inch Nails fan. And when they're in the what is it? Not the Great Beyond, but the
other one, the U seminar,
the loading zone. Yeah, the U seminar. You could really hear that the Trent Reznor score.
He scored. I didn't even realize that he scored it.
Yes, he scored it because it's there's a part. I think it's when 22 goes ballistic and becomes a lost soul. Mm-hmm. There's a part where she's tearing through the youth seminar where the score sounds just like Social Network for a second, and I was like, oh yeah, that's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
It was. I didn't even realize that, for one. Probably my second favorite score of the year.
Yeah, it's him. It's them.
Amazing.
So yeah, there's, I
mean, all in all, incredible, and you can watch it for free if you have Disney Plus, which is awesome.
I would have paid their premium, the $20 or $30 thing.
Yeah. Easily.
Really good movie. We didn't actually give anything away, so if you haven't seen it,
yeah, we were light on the spoilers. Should we spoil it? Should we? I don't know.
There isn't really much to spoil. I would just say that it's not what you think it is. It's not like
crush your shit 100% of the time from beginning to end.
No, but it's not. It's a feel-good movie for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's not all about jazz. it's, I don't know. It's just good. I don't know.
I was terrified at the end, I will say.
Oh, I was too. I honestly thought it was going to go one way, and it went kind of the sappier way, which I'm glad it did. Felt better.
Just let him have it.
Yeah. So, watch it. Soul is really, really
also,
good. And
yeah, I feel like teachers will see that and be like, "Fuck, finally,"
And when the viewer is still operating under the idea that a spark is a purpose, I thought he was at one point going to realize that music wasn't his purpose; it was teaching that was his purpose.
I think that's what they were kind of trying to drive across.
But they were also trying to drive across that the spark
is no purpose.
It's like wanting to live is the purpose.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I don't know.
Like you're ready to live, but teaching, like the whole movie, he's teaching 22 about.
Yeah.
Everything.
And then
so
even 22 has that really good moment with the little trombone player, and
I love that.
It's a great movie.
Every other scene is one of those moments where you go, "Oh, that was good."
Yeah.
So it's just
when the mom reaches for the box, I just go, "Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Don't do this.
Don't give me the dad suit."
I know. That's some good shit.
And the other aspect of like seeing your life through somebody else's perspective, and like the way the scene with the barber was like that stole the show.
I couldn't believe that. And and he was watching from the cat's perspective, and
just like, damn, that's me.
Yeah.
Poor Paul.
That's his name, Paul.
Yeah.
I love the Paul's the guy that
the asshole.
The hater, yeah.
Yeah, the hater. That should have just been his name. Yeah, that was good.
That was good. I
loved it. There's nothing bad to say about it.
No, not at all. I couldn't think of something if I tried.
That's why I wanted to start with that, since it's probably the least interesting discussion for two people to just be like,
yeah, we're just gushing about it.
Like, there was no problems with that whatsoever.
And you know what? Here's one thing we can say is now. So we got Coco, which is a Latino movie. Mm-hmm. We got Soul, which after La La Land, thank you for giving jazz back to
fucking A, man.
To who it belongs to. And then I don't remember the title. What's the next Pixar movie that's coming out? Bao. No, not Bao. That was the short film.
Bao was the short. It's the director of Bao,
though. Wind.
What's Wind all about?
I believe it's called Wind. Hold on. Nope, I'm up my ass again. What am I talking about?
This guy's insane.
Someone's yelling at their screen right now.
Fuck it. Yeah. Let's go.
Rava. Rava and the last Raya and the Last Dragon.
Raya and the Last Dragon. This is Pixar?
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
So they're going all out culturally.
Oh shit, it's not actually.
It's just Disney?
It's Disney animation.
I gotta edit this whole part out.
No, you don't. It's fine. Anyway, they're doing one for us, Thank you, Crazy Rich Asians. Appreciate it. You kind of did us wrong with Mulan, but Anyway, should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on. Should we cover Tenet now?
Tenet will be more fun, so let's wait.
Okay. Wonder Woman, 1984.
So let's start off with the good. Let's talk about the good stuff. Here's the thing.
Let's just preface this. We adore the first one.
We love the first one. And honestly, Colin and I finished watching this movie about the same time. And if there was like a graph of our excitement, it was a straight, it was like up. We were so excited. We were talking about the movie for like an hour, and we were like, man, I don't know what everyone's saying. It's so good. Blah, blah, blah. And then we're like, but and then blah, blah, blah.
But then there was that.
Really good. And then
I remember thinking, it was like, does this suck? Like an hour later. And then it was like,
yeah.
And then I woke up and my first thought was like, it was pretty good as my body rose. And then we came to the conclusion that, you know, it's a solid C plus B minus.
Yeah.
Something like if you overanalyze it, it's not.
It's bad.
But if you take it for just what it is, and instead, and I don't know, it's a good movie. That also sucks.
The problem is, I have a better idea of what I would have rather had as a movie than this.
Of course you do.
And all right, so we'll get the good out of the way. The good is the first 45 minutes is awesome. It feels
magical.
It feels like Dick Donner Superman. You got Diana doing good shit for regular people
with the same frame rate as as old Superman.
Yes. You got.
So you wanted more Themyscira, and I remember during that opening scene just thinking like, what the is this necessary? What is this just teaching us the general moral for the story we're about to see?
It was supposed to, and I don't even think it landed that.
The Turbo Man.
The lies, the truth.
It's fully Turbo Man. Yeah, what is it?
Always keep your promises.
Yeah, always keep your promises if you want to keep your friends. That's like the plot of the movie.
Yeah, it doesn't really connect. I like the thing about the first Wonder Woman I loved was her telling the mythology of the gods and stuff. And even the first.
Well, I mean, you had a sick ass animation like to that, and it's 1 minute long.
Yeah,
and you know everything about him.
Same with Man of Steel. They never came back around with that animation style from that. But I don't know. I would like more Themyscira. I think that there's somewhere to put more of that stuff. I don't know.
I guess.
Whatever. I don't know.
It's just like the way I thought about it was like, there's too much in the movie and not enough in the movie.
We'll get
enough
there.
Of what you want to see and too much of what nobody
We'll
needs.
get there as we go through the movie. So
first 45 minutes, absolutely magical.
I really liked that the bad guy, quote unquote, is magic. The stone grants wishes. I think that's fun. I think it's cool. I think it's
as goofy as it is. It ties into what Shazam just did.
Sure, it's very Shazam. It's very like Indiana Jones. It's like all magic and shit, and I think that's cool.
It's just that when you're using the word wish for 2.5 hours, like,
dude, we heard
it's hard not to just be like
far too many times.
Oh my God.
I wish we would move on.
Yeah, straight the fuck up.
I thought the progression of Kristen Wiig's character, I did not imagine Kristen Wiig would be good in this, honestly.
I knew she would, brother. Come on.
And she rocked. Like,
she's perfect.
There was maybe not enough time with her before she became cool and hot and kicking ass.
Well, a magical stone granted her a wish, so it was kind of like,
yeah,
it had to be an instant transformation for it to make sense.
Yeah, that's true. But once the real saving grace of this movie is Pedro Pascal.
100%. He gave it everything he had.
For all maybe 25 extra minutes of runtime that he had that he maybe shouldn't have had in this movie, he crushed
it. The entire Cairo sequence was just should have been left on the cutting room floor.
Should have not been filmed.
Shouldn't have been written.
It's a
producer should have been like, you should not be covering this at all.
You shouldn't cover this. Do you know that you're in the Israeli army?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember.
This ain't your story to tell, milady.
It's so misguided. You have the terrorist guy saying he wants nuclear weapons. Like, what are we doing here?
Just not now, Patty.
I would say from hour 1 to hour 2, there was 45 minutes of movie that we just didn't need. Like,
yeah, basically only the scenes where Steve and Diana are just
so
talking
good
in some way are good in that like second hour.
The way that the way that they brought Steve back was brilliant, and you can only do it once. So,
and
goodbye, Chris Pine.
It could have been so much worse because I was so terrified when the Hallmark Channel actor guy showed up. It was like I'm never gonna be able to stop thinking about the fact that he's in another body, and I immediately stopped thinking about the fact that he was in another body.
I didn't even consider it. I really enjoyed the flip of the first movie and this movie, where now Steve Trevor is the fish out of water, kind of
probably the best part of the movie.
Yeah, I think so. And
whatever came from them is why the movie is good, if at all.
At all, yeah. I really agree. I feel bad.
The jet.
I feel bad because the jet with the fireworks. It all looked so cool.
Man. Yeah, that was beautiful.
All right, and then so we'll say that those 45 minutes were really good. The magic of it was cool. The fight with Cheetah was pretty good.
The first one, like in the lighthouse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Awesome.
When she was fully transformed. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I saw some people have beef with it. I thought it was sick.
I think in like 1 year it will not look good anymore.
Sure. But then they'll probably remaster it and it'll look dope.
Exactly. In a world where they're doing that now.
Yeah.
It'll look good forever.
And like Star Wars has taught us that power without training means nothing. And that's what that scene was. It was like, hey, I have my powers back. You're not going to beat me. But I also don't really want to kill you. So that's I felt like that. It was like, well, Cheetah can't win. And I'm okay with that because I know that. And I enjoyed it. I saw a lot of people had a gripe with it.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it at all. Like I said, it'll look bad soon, but it'll get remastered and it'll be fine. The best scene in the movie, the one where Gal Gadot got her paycheck cashed, was when she had to renounce her wish.
Her acting scene. Her big acting scene. It was the first time she's ever acted.
It's because she had to act against Chris Pine, who's really good.
Who's just a natural, brilliant genius.
When she says, "I'll never love again," Shannon, when she says, "I'll never love you," this is Shannon. Like she couldn't. It's like she like sucked in some smoke or something like that. She couldn't contain her emotion, and then you get the amazing line when she's walking away. I'll always love you, no matter where I am. Oh, that's some good shit. And it's back in a distance, like that's some good shit.
She's just she's been hung up on this guy for 60 years, and now she's gonna be hung up on him for 600 years.
Yeah.
I watched the first half with Lana, and there was a visual effect that she said was so bad that she had to leave the room. So she left the room.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was during the Cairo fight with the tanks and shit.
Oh, is it when she's like floating? Like
she's just.
Was it one of these?
Yeah.
Yeah,
she was like, that was so bad. I have to leave. So the movie ended, and she was like, "Okay, so what happened?" And I remember sitting thinking, like, I mean, that's fine. I'm at the end of the movie, I was like, like what happened? And then I got emotional while retelling her what happened.
Oh.
Which made me think maybe it's pretty good. Maybe watching it, I didn't feel that, but like repeating it, and like repeating the scene where Steve is like, "I'll." Yeah, you know, where they renounce the wish and everything, that made me emotional, just to say.
And then immediately after, she listens to him in her head and like learns how to fly, basically.
Dude, that first whip.
Yeah.
Just,
yeah.
she was
pissed.
Yeah.
That was a rage whip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, the other thing I loved, which is part of we didn't get enough and we also got too much is the when she's talking about the armor and they do the flashback of what's her name? Asteria. There you go. Asteria. And it looked like B-roll from 300 or something like that.
Yeah, it was sick.
I want more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want more of that.
I don't know. And then you say that because then they'll give you a whole movie of that. They'll give you fucking Themyscira, the movie, like they're doing.
Yeah, give me.
What's the Aquaman thing? What is that? The deep.
What Aquaman thing?
Movie?
It's the trench.
What the fuck?
I don't know why they're doing that. I don't know why. I don't know.
So be careful what you say.
They already covered it.
Themyscira. They want a Themyscira movie.
I would made. No. I'd be down. I'd be down for like a 4-part Themyscira miniseries.
Sure.
Where they show some like war between gods and shit.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
That sounds sick.
There's about 90 things that I'd like to see them do before that.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of over it.
Green Lantern Corps.
I'm the number one. Like when I said in our group chat that I liked it, Nate goes, "Yeah, but you like everything DC does," and I try to. It's like it's a full-time job trying to like the shit that DC gives.
It really, really, really is. And you definitely because I want to. Like, you're the number one. You saw Justice League in theaters, and your first response
twice.
I loved it.
It's so.
It was not. I had a great time. It was. I loved it.
I loved it. I love it. I loved it. I loved it. I love the food. In the 90s, I read X-Men, and that's the only Marvel I read. I read, Batman and Superman otherwise. And even in the 2000s, like I mostly read DC. So I want it to be good so bad. So I tend to overlook stuff pretty often. But I would say, first of all, this whole movie doesn't make any sense if, like, I know that Wonder Woman, like, I know that people are trying to say that they're making these movies out of continuity on purpose. They're like just trying to make the best movie. You know what I mean? But like Wonder Woman in BVS is saying she left the world 100 years ago, right? And then even in
but they're
the
like,
Joss,
they don't give a fuck about that.
Even in the Joss Whedon Justice League, they still tried to keep that going. And here she is, just.
I feel like she's been doing it in secret. She's not.
She isn't though, dude.
She's under
the cameras.
She's on the down
cameras.
Low. The cameras.
She's in like 11 countries, telling people, "Shh, someone's gonna tell, man. Someone always tells."
No, they listen. They respect.
You
don't respect. Shh.
I wrote a better movie in my head. Oh, okay. I wrote a better movie in my head that would have kept the continuity going. And Warner Brothers, if you want to hear it, it's too late.
Wonder Woman 1983.
The Alec cut. Wonder Woman do it. Alec favors Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you guys want to hear it, maybe I'll tell you. But it's better. It's just better.
That's so sick.
So this movie, people hate it. People say it's like the worst movie ever made.
Like, this is absolutely one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And that's not.
It's simply not. But
I would say the script is actually bad.
Here's the thing. If you hate it, I get it. But you're not trying to see the good in it. And there is good.
Totally.
So I felt good watching that first 45 minutes.
I felt amazing. I was like, okay, they're moving. What are the people talking about? They're crazy. This is incredible.
inexcusable thing.
I could have felt that way without the Egypt sequence.
Yeah, but even then, after the Egypt sequence, they were still I don't care what these people on
30 minutes of wishing
for, man.
Yeah, I don't care.
Dude, I don't need all that wishing. I get it. Show me like 2 wishes, and then I get it. Show me the president wishing. There's no one more important than that.
Yeah.
Whose wish I care about. Show me that.
Fake Ronald Reagan.
There's too much wishing.
Show me fake Ronald Reagan's wish,
Yeah, there's too much. Like they saw in the editing room, man, Pedro Pascal, he's killing it.
We gotta get
We were
more.
gonna cut all these scenes, but we're gonna keep all of them.
Yeah.
Simply too much. Another inexcusable thing. You have this beautiful moment where she's learning to fly, and you didn't hear it right away. I heard it instantly. Was the score from Sunshine?
The Sunshine song, officially licensed by Hans Zimmer for this.
I
movie.
heard it because it's in Kick-Ass, which makes sense because Matthew Vaughn, I think he like PA'd for David Boyle or something like that. And I also remember that it was used in the X-Men The Last Stand trailer. So maybe don't use it.
It's been all over the place.
I don't do it anymore. Just don't.
Also, you're Hans Zimmer. Like,
that's the thing. That's the worst part. Is it's like the rest of the score is really good. The stuff on Dennis Garrett is really good.
I was gonna say, like, that's one of my other like third or fourth favorite score of the year because I'm a Zimmer nut. And it was like he did a straight up callback to Man of Steel
and BVS.
And it was all that was for us.
That moment was amazing though when she was speaking to the world. And what's the song? I don't remember what the song's called, but
A Beautiful Lie.
A Beautiful Lie. That popped out. Oh, at first I was like, they're not doing that. Yeah, it
was amazing.
But how could you take like a pivotal moment in the movie and then outsource the score?
Her flying for the first time. We gotta get something from something else.
I don't think I can do it, guys.
It's crazy. Yeah, I'm not touching that
one. Hey, Potty, I don't think I can do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that is astounding. And I like what was really funny is like she has this like public gripe now with the ending of the first one with the CGI and the Ares fight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, we didn't do that this time around. We did it right before the ending.
Yeah, and then your climax is like just a guy in a room with
just her being like, wait, and he's like, no,
I was not talking to you.
You got me. You got me. I love my son.
Yeah. Alistair.
184, yeah.
Alistair.
That scene is pretty incredible.
It's really good. All the stuff with the kid is good. It's just
Did that choke you up as a dad? That final scene?
Yeah, for sure. It was because you want your kid to be proud of you, and you don't want to be a monster. You know, I get it. That's all. Here's the real problem: is the whole time you feel bad for Pedro Pascal. He never feels like a full villain because you know why he's doing it.
Yeah, but at a certain point, you're like, all right, I understood why you were doing this at first, but classic villain. Now you're doing it. Now you're just getting greedy.
But you don't ever see, like they mentioned, the god who made the stone.
We're past 40 minutes and it's still recording. All right, I'll keep it going.
You get the god who made the stone.
Yeah.
Right. But they don't ever. We don't see him. We don't ever mention him again, and that feels like the real villain.
Unless he's the villain in Wonder Woman 3, that was like, what were you thinking? Where was this ever going to go? Yeah, I know.
Do something else. Do anything else.
Cheetah was the one where it's like, to me, her motivations never became evil. Like, yeah, she had to fight and like do some fucked up shit, and she straight up like killed a guy, an attempted rapist. But like, you can see after kind of who she was and how unhappy she was, why she would not want to give this up under any circumstance.
Right. And yeah. And it's like, she didn't really do anything bad. The whole movie, she didn't do anything. She didn't do anything bad.
She was just protecting
as a bad guy. Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I don't think she did.
She told the homeless guy that she was nice to earlier in the movie to just mind your business.
Mind your business. And that's like,
meow, mind your business.
Do we stand?
Cheetah?
Yeah.
Oh, she's the real hero of the movie.
Okay. We stand.
So this movie. I'm not gonna die on that. I'm not gonna die on the hill.
There's no hill to die on. It's not worth it. But I will. I'm gonna watch it again, and I'll probably.
Oh yeah. In a world where I've seen Suicide Squad as many times as
as many times.
I'll certainly watch it.
You've probably seen Suicide Squad as many times as you've seen your favorite movie of all time.
No, that's not true.
I think it's true.
Maybe it's true. Yeah. I've seen Suicide Squad more than the guy who edited Suicide Squad has seen.
I honestly believe that.
And I can tell because the movie's poorly edited. So he watched it maybe half a time.
Third pass was like, wow, you guys, that's the final one? All right. I wasn't done. But...
You guys are happy with this? You sure?
Sure, yeah. Jeez, all right.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch the first hour again. Easy.
The first hour is going to be like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this movie's incredible. Maybe this movie is amazing.
The problem is the more I think about it, the less I like it. So I'm just going to say.
Yeah, I felt that way day one. It was like you and I were texting about it, and I was like, I thought I liked this, and I'm positive I hate it now.
Yeah.
And then 12 hours later, I thought about what I liked, and I like what I like.
Unlike Justice League, the things that are good about it are good.
Yeah.
And like I won't the stuff I hate about it, I really hate about it.
Oh,
but the stuff that's
I didn't even mention it. It has my biggest superhero pet peeve is oh no, my powers.
Yeah.
Oh my.
But in this one it makes in this one it makes sense.
Sure, it always makes sense. They always make it make sense.
Dude, no, it doesn't though.
It's the laziest thing that they can do.
In Spider-Man 2, dude, in Spider-Man 2,
Spider-Man 2 is ridiculous.
He loses his powers because he's like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. He just goes,
I don't want to be Spider-Man anymore.
And that's it. And they're gone. Yeah, I don't like being Spider-Man. And then he's like, oh,
putting this in the trash can.
Not Spider-Man. Yeah, it's my biggest superhero pet peeve.
Yeah.
Oh no, my powers. All right, they're back. Sure. Yeah. This was maybe the best actual.
It's the best use of it.
Getting them back, but it doesn't make it any less.
Yeah, I know. It's cheap.
It's cheap.
It's cheap.
Figure something else out.
It is cheap. I mean, Thor did it. They did it in Thor. They did it in
Iron Fist season 1, episode 2.
Yeah, just erase that whole season.
Episode 2. His powers are gone.
They did it in. I mean, every Iron Man does it when they take away his suit.
Every single one. He's like, I don't have my suit. What am I gonna do?
Iron Man 3 was basically just that.
It was Iron Man, and so was exactly. That is Iron Man 3. Like fuck.
Yeah.
A suit. Better make a new one. And then he has 50.
Yeah, then
suddenly they're all in the end battle, ready to fight.
Merry Christmas.
Where the fuck were those? Yeah. Oh, sick.
Dude, where were those in Endgame?
Straight up. He didn't need.
All right.
One of those should have fucking
Let's move on.
The glove. All right. So we're talking about Tenet. Yeah. Time for some Tenet talk, huh?
Yeah. I'm nervous, honestly.
I am too.
I don't want to miss anything.
I don't want to come off stupid, you know?
I want how are people watching Tenet?
When I posted that I was watching it, I got really mixed responses.
Oh, I think a lot of people don't like it.
Like straight up. They're like, this one's a miss.
And
Bo, our good friend, fan of the show. I think
I got his Twitch.
Straight up bad movie, he said.
I just like Wonder Woman. If someone doesn't like it, I accept it.
Sure.
I think and I know you probably disagree with me. I think it's like down there with. I'm not saying it's Dark Knight Rises bad, but
I don't even think Dark Knight Rises is bad. So I
I
can't.
don't either.
I certainly can't agree.
I think if he has 10 movies, I think it's his bottom 3 in terms of
when you're batting 1,000.
No, and exactly, it's like
what's bottom? What's the 10th?
Hook is like Steven Spielberg's worst movie. So
that's not
Suck
true
Me Sideways.
Yeah. If it's his worst movie,
it's not.
Then all of his movies are good.
Yeah, and I just think it's his worst made movie. I think the editing is really bad. The sound design is really bad.
Yeah, I see. I'm fortunate to have not. This is the craziest thing I've ever said. I will never say this about another movie as long as I live. I'm fortunate to have not seen it in a theater. So I had a much more pleasant
You also
experience.
watched it for the first time with subtitles, which is also not how you watch a movie.
No.
And so you watched it in optimal conditions.
I had no issues with the sound whatsoever.
Because you could read the movie.
I could read it. I could hear everything. I understand he's going for like intense realism.
Yeah, but intense realism.
At what cost?
There is no score in the real world, and the pounding like techno score doesn't need to be over the dialogue.
It was pretty dope though. That's the best score of the year, by the way.
I can't think of another one, so maybe
it's the best one. The Mank score is incredible.
It felt unremarkable, honestly. I can't think of a single theme.
Oh, I loved it. The fucking all the like the cool drum shit. It wasn't super musical.
Yeah, it's like the Inception score, which is just noises.
Easy.
The Inception score is horns. The Inception
score is not just noises.
It's horns. And yes, there are notes. Like the end, I get it. I know what you're thinking. The horns. Yeah, it's loud, man.
They're not noises. They're art.
It's not Man of Steel is the point.
Now you're cooking with peanut oil.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but it's still my favorite score of the year. Like I've just listened to it for fun.
I think that the concept is what makes the movie good.
Yeah,
it's fun. The
movie is fun as loosely dissect. As it is explained, which I think makes it fun to talk about. Like that's.
I mean, I was the first one in our squad to watch it.
Yeah.
And the first thing I said was, I thought about the movie all night, and I was like, I didn't tell you guys that I wasn't sure if I liked it or not, but I did say that I was thinking about it, and I watched it again the next morning.
And that's not all that common anymore. Is the act of like, oh, I can't wait to watch that again.
Yeah, and he built the movie that way. He purposefully built a movie that made kind of no sense, so that you'd have to.
I saw a tweet about it. A tweet about it that was like, Christopher Nolan was so afraid to flop, he made a movie you have to watch twice. It's pretty, and it's pretty so dead
funny.
On.
It's really funny that he like basically fought COVID and the film industry to get this movie in theaters. And
that's easily the worst way to watch it.
And well, also it's just
way
like
to watch this movie is in a movie.
This is the movie. Like this is the movie that you are like fracturing your relationship with Warner Brothers for.
Yeah, with like, the entire industry for essentially.
Yeah, like it's not your best. So like,
I really wanted to watch it again before we did this today. I didn't get a chance to.
You've only watched it once?
I've only watched it once. But listen, you don't know how many hours of people talking about it on YouTube I've listened to. So let's talk about a couple of the big theories.
Big theories.
The big theories. The one of them I think is like confirmed has to be true. One of them is just not possible. As fun as it is.
The one we've talked about.
The one we've talked about, it's not. It's just not a thing.
Okay.
Insane. But
Doesn't make sense.
The protagonist, the woman that the scientist he talks to in the beginning, the theory is that she is the one that goes on to create the algorithm that kills herself because she realized what she's made. And her experimenting with this wall and the inverted bullets and everything is what led her to create it.
Right. Isn't that a grandfather paradox?
It is, but it's like in the movie they're kind of saying like, yeah, it's a paradox, so you'll never know. But we can't confirm it.
So if she trips accidentally and dies, the loop closes itself.
But she can't.
Why?
Because what's happened.
It's true. That's I love how there are two lines that it's like because I said so. Mm-hmm. And it's don't try to make sense of it, just feel it. Yeah. She says that. And then what's happened.
That was to the audience being like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, okay, yeah, but it doesn't make sense. Well, it just is. That's what Christopher Nolan
said. It's a movie. Alec and Colin.
And that's when I told you that scene really bothered me because I was like, okay, you're taking this gun, you're pointing it at a wall that you excavated from somewhere else, and you're shooting it and getting the inverted bullets back. Yeah. When I first saw it, I go, well, where are the shells coming from? Because the shells have to be outside of the of the gun in order to go back into the gun.
They're inverted. Those are shells.
But when
inverted bullets don't have shells, stupid. Yeah, I could. That's like just a weird little gripe. But what's weird about that is the amount of detail that went into everything else with inversion.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fights and the detail.
All the practical fights.
Yeah, like him saying that the movie itself has less practical effects than the average modern romantic comedy. Less visual effects. It's all like it is 280 visual effects total is what I saw.
Is it basically just bullets coming out? That's like the only visual effects, basically?
Everything else is practical. Like the plane crash is practical. The reverse fighting was shot in reverse.
That's the craziest one. Dude,
the reverse car chase. And the speech is reverse. They just did that.
Is that a special effect if they just actually reversed it? Is that considered a special effect?
The chases and stuff, like car crashes and whatnot?
Is that considered?
Like I don't think it is. That's just editing.
Yeah, that's what I was.
It's just taking a clip and playing it backwards.
Yeah.
But like the backwards driving and all that's real.
Him walking in the puddle. How'd they make the water do that? They didn't do that.
I don't know. They found a way.
Did they invent inversion for this movie?
Maybe, yeah. Once the turnstiles came into play, and was it Aaron Taylor Johnson?
Eves.
That was a nice surprise.
Yeah, I had no idea.
He pulled a Matt Damon on us.
And that Eve's entry into the movie is a real testament to there basically being no characters in this movie.
It's true.
The plot is the character.
Yeah.
Outside of Neil, there's really not anyone to care about.
We got to go back a little bit and just talk about Neil for a little while.
I would say that we're in a Pattinson-assance.
For sure. I would comfortably die for him. I would say.
If it meant more Batman movies, certainly more
Pattinson
more Tenet movies,
and Neil specifically, I think I would just do anything for.
And to this movie's credit, like I said, I didn't love it.
You didn't love it? You still don't love it?
No, I don't think I love it. I love the idea. I love the idea of it. I love the theories. I love a lot about the movie.
To me, that is it. That is like when I was watching it, there was 30 straight minutes where I was like, I don't know that I'd even like this. And then I finished it and I was like, I loved the whole thing.
Right. I mean, like once you crack the first hour, you can start enjoying yourself a little bit.
And because
But the
it's just
first
like
hour,
scene.
right?
The
The first hour, the editing is really bad. You also don't know what's going on.
But it feels intentional.
No,
the
I don't
crazy
know
editing, you know.
I don't know about that because the editing is the same as the when I was watching the opera get taken over, I was instantly reminded of the where they take over the Wall Street in Dark Knight Rises. And that scene is edited terribly. It looks so bad.
The opening scene at the opera, I saw in IMAX.
And
unbelievable.
It sounded bad.
No, it didn't.
It sounded bad.
Never for 1 second did I think this sounds bad. I remember thinking it's very loud and it looks amazing. Can't wait to see it.
I still think it was edited bad.
I don't know. I just feel like the jarring cuts and all that were done for some reason. I don't know what the reason is.
But I mean, you're probably right because his other movies aren't edited that way.
No,
except for the Dark Knight, except for the Batman movies. Honestly, the Batman movies have pretty bad editing too.
It's a pace and time thing, and the whole movie's about time. So I think things with like even the timing of shots had to have been some kind of deliberate thing.
Well, I think part of his problem, and like I said, maybe it is intentional. Maybe you're right. I also think that he has the same problem that Zack Snyder has, where he's got 3.5 hours of movie that he needs to shove into 2.5 hours, and he's just better at doing it.
Way better. Because Zach needs a 4th hour now to make his movies work.
And also, like Zach's stories, like Christopher Nolan's stories are what makes the movies. Like he's got a lot of flaws. Like a lot of people say he doesn't handle humanity very well or whatever.
I don't give a fuck. I've never once thought about any of that.
But I think that this movie,
I am who he needs. He's making movies. He's like, what would Colin think? This coming up. Like, I don't give a shit about humanity.
Yeah, look at your shirt.
Exactly. It's torn to shreds. Hang on. Look at this. Look at that.
There you go.
Does this look like a guy who cares about humanity? This is a monster. I smell terrible. There's all kinds of things happening right now. Anyway, let's go. So Neil, his first scene where he introduces himself, the first time I was so like, this man, trust him. He is doing this fast.
Right.
And the Diet Coke thing seemed like such a small detail. It wasn't a detail. It was just like he's just ordering this guy a Diet Coke.
Well, I wrote it off instantly because I thought, oh well, these guys are spies. He's supposed to.
He did his research.
Right. He's supposed
to know his best friend his favorite drink.
He's supposed to know more than he's supposed to know. You know.
Yeah.
That's what I figured. But
I really we never mentioned the other theory that Neil is Max, Kat's son. And it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Logistically, it doesn't work. We could explain it to you, but
he would have to have lived the length of his entire life backwards to get back to that.
Because if everything inverts, that means age inverts, and he would basically have to have lived his whole life twice. And I think that the point is that the protagonist is constantly moving forward, and he'll like go back for increments of time. Like I think the movie, they go back a total of 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. 10 days or 2 weeks or something.
Yeah. But the protagonist, I think he continues moving forward in time to like, he recruits Eves, he recruits Neil. So that means he's moving into the future.
So Tenet, is he the head of Tenet, essentially?
I think so.
Tenet is his.
Yeah.
So he goes back and recruits himself as well.
Well, I don't know who the guy who recruits him is. Maybe that's Neil.
Neil is dead. Neil's dead as fuck.
Neil's dead
unfortunately.
Twice. Once?
Neil had two scenes where I just remember thinking, this is the best movie character of 2020. This is the best. This is the best fictional person introduced this year.
Which one?
When he daps him up in the truck after they get out of the airport, and they're like, "We're the ones." And it was just like, yes. And then the very end, where he's like, "This is the beginning."
The end of a beautiful friendship, right?
It's both. It's okay. we don't have to rationalize.
The thing that was really funny, not funny, but like I felt like there was a whole other movie that we didn't get to see, was when you see the algorithm pieced together and it looks like something out of Stargate or something.
Cool.
I was like, I want to see why it looks like that.
Yeah.
It
also,
looks like
the like kind of subtle explanation that's what, like, why Sator's path got started, because he was the one that found it.
Right.
Amazing. Sator was Kenneth Branagh. There's one scene where I should not have laughed, and I was like nearly in tears when he kicks his wife on the ground. Not like shouldn't be funny. She'd be like, "Oh my god, this monster," but he goes, "Ah!" He kicks her.
He forgot that he was not in like a theater somewhere for a second.
For a whole audience.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just me at home seeing it really close, being like, "That was a funny kick," and screaming.
The scene where he like puts the ring in the belt. Was it a ring when he was gonna beat her?
Oh yeah, that was fucked. That made me sick.
I saw that and I go, that's some like
this is dark.
Advanced, dark shit.
How do they know that? You know, who wrote Christopher?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I did that part made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, where are you getting these details from, you sicko?
But
the rest of that scene where before the hilarious kick, when she's pointing the gun at him, and the fear in his eyes makes sense the second time you watch it, because he's like, "Oh my god, if she shoots me, the world ends."
The whole thing's
like, "Oh fuck, I better stop her." Kat as a character in the first like half of the movie felt like a really weak motivation for the protagonist to like be doing half the things that he's doing.
Right, like he's just a shitty husband that's controlling her with a fake piece of art.
Yeah, so the protagonist is thinking, well, I'm working with a future time bureau that is like the secretest thing in the world, in the history of the world. I have to save her. I have to. That's not important. I need to save her.
He does. He does make some choices where you're like, this is not important.
What are you doing? Yeah, and then he's like gonna kill her, and he's gonna kill her anyway. You think that? Like, then what did you do the first time? And then I read that she's like 6'3".
Oh, she's huge.
And then it's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. Like to climb that tree.
This is his one chance to, she's 6'3". I gotta do whatever I can to make this work.
The first time I saw her, she was in that the Leo Great Gatsby movie.
Yeah.
And she towers over, like it's everyone. Distracting how much taller she is than everyone in that movie.
She's the gold chick from Guardians.
Yes, that's also her.
She's good.
She's dope.
6'3". That's crazy.
She's very tall. Is she as tall as Nate? How tall is Nate?
6'5".
She's not as tall as Nate.
But almost. That's fucking tall as shit. But that her whole arc and like the way it ends and like the middle of it, was like the most Christopher Nolan-esque.
Oh, the whole thing where it connects back. It was very much what's her name with the watch in Interstellar. Like, oh, you hinted back to this thing.
Yeah. Remember what I showed you? Here it is again.
Stay, stay.
Yeah, but like in a way where even when you figure it out, like an hour in, when
but
it
here's the thing:
finally hits.
you figure that out, but that doesn't mean you figure the movie out.
No.
I like once a day I think I figured the movie out, and then I did not figure the movie out. I think I figured it out.
The detail I liked most about that is how she pauses a second before she dies.
Yeah.
To make sure she can see her.
Right.
Just thinking like, is it gonna be you? And that what's cool about that is like hearing them explain it. I got two separate thoughts going on. One, the world did not end before any of that happened. So we already know that they are successful.
Correct. What's happened, man.
Happened. It didn't exist. It didn't explode. So they know that they succeeded. So they
here's
just
the
have
thing:
to continue
they always succeed.
It's crazy.
And I always think about how it's like, okay, the Tenet is going to always win because the world still exists, and that means Neil always knows he's going to die.
It's a tragedy.
And even when he gets on the helicopter, he's like, well, I'm going to go do this shit again. I know I'm going to die. I'll see you next time.
It's a beautiful tragedy.
I would love, if not a sequel, an HBO Max. Neil and the protagonist.
I think the thing I've been reading is the coolest. What that would be really cool is that Tenet is the end of a trilogy.
Right.
Like now he's going to make the second one, and then he's going to make the first one.
And the first one stars Denzel.
Denzel recruiting Pattinson when he's a little older, and then he goes back and he's a little
or a little young. No, older. What if Pattinson is way older than the protagonist?
So some people think that the Michael Caine character is Neil.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Because
it's insane. It's just one of those crazy fucking theories.
That is interesting because it's so funny. Michael Caine is billed on the poster.
He's like third or fourth billed. It's insane.
And he's in the movie for 3 minutes.
It's a certified cameo, and every interview he's done, he's like, I have no idea what the movie is about.
I've seen the movie about the size of a tangerine.
About the size of a tangerine. I say that once a day. Yeah. And she always asks me.
It kind of makes sense because he makes the joke about dressing well.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
Neil dresses fucking dope.
Yeah. Dude, John David Washington dresses dope. He makes me want to button my shirt up a little bit.
I really liked, this is something you don't see in action movies like this. The lead characters are in great shape, and they're never working out.
Correct.
And there's like 2 or 3 separate times where we see him by himself just being like, well, I might as well get a workout in.
Right.
Doing some chin-ups. And what's crazy about that scene is he's there.
When he's passing it, yeah.
He's there both times, so he's doing the same thing at the same time.
Yes. Because when they show them on the boat, the yacht again, later in the movie, the windmills are going backwards.
Yeah.
And he's in one of them waiting so that he doesn't see himself.
Right.
But he doesn't know that yet, right?
He has no idea. The way the time little battle at the end. 100% love it.
Yes. I thought
the Humvee coming through.
Yes.
Like in reverse.
When he's honking.
Yeah. And just like going over the mines, setting off the mines while they're running up. And they're like, mines! And they're like shooting at the Humvee because they don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
He thought, like, I feel like they really thought about every fucking detail of that whole end sequence.
Yeah, like I said, I think that the movie, even Shannon watched the first half an hour with me and she hated it. And I was like, yeah, man, I get it.
The first half hour is like, if you've only seen that, you're going to be like, this makes no sense. It sucks. It looks like shit. I don't know what happened. But I feel like that's the point. Like you're fucking boom, 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 boom until it slows down.
I think that's supposed to be narratively disorienting so that when big things happen, they shock you.
For sure.
It's hard to talk about this movie, honestly, like in a linear way.
It's impossible.
Like we're just going
we're going back and forth because we have to.
I would say out of all the big set pieces and action scenes, my favorite scene is still him fighting in the kitchen.
Oh, that was just like,
that's like hand to hand.
Let's show you who this guy is.
Right. And then him just like calmly walking out.
Ugh.
So good.
That I think that was where I was like, I like this movie.
Yeah.
I like what's happening. I like where this is going. I'm fully invested.
Yeah.
John David Washington, he needs to be Robin or something, because I don't want to split them up. I don't know. Yeah. I need to see them do more stuff together.
He should be Jon Stewart, man.
Yeah, we've been saying that for 3 years.
I was saying, what's his name from Moonlight?
Trevante Rhodes.
Yeah,
and then I saw a Boss Logic drawing of John David Washington. I think it was him as Jon Stewart, and it was
pretty good.
It got me.
I like John David Washington a lot.
He's awesome.
You gotta watch Ballers. He's really good.
I guess I'll fucking watch Ballers. If I want to truly be a stan, I guess I really gotta.
I stand. I stand The Rock, and that's why I watched it. So, and Rob Corddry.
Rob Corddry's in it.
Yeah, he's like his best friend in the.
Oh wow, that's a good team.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I love Tenet. I will safely say.
I don't know what it got on Rotten Tomatoes. I imagine somewhere in the 80s.
70s or 80s, I believe.
I'm a solid. Dude, my brother sent me his Nolan rating on Letterboxd, and I wanted to slap him through the phone.
He's insane.
Guess what?
He knows he's insane.
And I know he's gonna hear this.
Yeah. Number one is what?
I've got your number, buddy. Number one is Interstellar. All right, I got it.
That makes sense. For him.
All right, so 1 Interstellar, 2 Dunkirk, 3 Tenet. He really likes Tenet.
Good. I love Tenet.
4 The Dark Knight, 5 Inception, 6 The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Sicko.
Wait, Prestige is on the bottom?
Shh.
Unfollow. Unsubscribe from whatever you're about to say.
7 Insomnia. 8 8
Oh my god.
8 Batman Begins. 8 Batman Begins. 9 The Prestige. Memento, and then the following.
My camera is blurry. I'm so flabbergasted.
Yeah, your camera is blurry.
I'm so. Hello. There we go. That's all you guys do is just get up there.
The Prestige is number 9.
Prestige is still number 1 for me. Straight up. Prestige, Batman Begins.
I don't know what to make of this list.
It's psychotic, is what you make of it. But anyway, absolutely love Tenet. But like, if anybody tells me they didn't understand it or don't like it, I'm not gonna.
I think if you didn't understand it, I'm not gonna say you're a dummy, but
because it's not clear. But you have to think about it, and like,
I'm not gonna say you're stupid, but I'm not gonna say that you like care. That's
fair.
If you don't understand the movie, that means you don't care about the movie, which is also fine.
Totally. You look at movies a little differently.
Don't tell me it's bad and not understand it. If you understand it and then tell me it's bad, then okay.
It's not Wonder Woman 84. Because if you tell me that's bad, it's like, yeah, I feel you, man. I'm trying really hard to.
I would say though, I would say I like this movie, but it's not top 5 Nolan for me.
No, I'm fine with that. I would agree. But
that's like saying
when you're batting 1,000.
Yeah, it's like saying, Jackie Brown is probably on the low end of my Tarantino. I'm like, okay, but Jackie Brown's still like amazing movie.
Absolutely. All right. So should this conclude our Tenet talk?
Are you guys sick of Tenet yet?
Because I'll just talk about it. I could talk about this for another hour. I loved it.
I don't
There's
think I could.
so many things about it that interest me.
Should we move on to
Yeah, you want to do some Twitter
some
questions?
questions? Yeah. How do you think mutants are going to be introduced into the MCU? And what storyline do you think they will go with for the X-Men movie? This is Gonzo X Bones.
Gonzo X Bones. Well, WandaVision is the logical starting point, but that seems like a little too soon.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Maybe Doctor Strange too. In terms of what storyline they're going to do,
a thing that I don't want them to do is any fucking storyline that involves a mutant cure, losing powers.
Yeah.
The bad guy's got a machine that can make people human again. I don't need any of that shit. Anything that's related to God loves, man kills, don't want it.
Right.
Give me something new. Give me. Certainly don't give me anything Phoenix related.
No Phoenix.
You
can't do House of M or any of that stuff.
Well, no, House of M is like the opposite of what.
That's the
like
end.
I saw someone.
They'll do that in 20 years.
I saw someone say that WandaVision is going to lead to House of M. I'm like, well, I don't think you know what House of M is. If you think.
Yeah, maybe 50 years from now, it'll be like, remember what happened in WandaVision?
So WandaVision is going to cause House of WandaVision is going to create mutants and then take away their powers right away. I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm good.
My favorite series of the last 20 years. Well, no. The Grant Morrison X-Men is awesome. I would love to see, and that's kind of like a good starting point for people. I love Messiah Complex, but you can't really do that without House of M unless there's there's someone smarter out there that can probably figure out a way to do it. There's a lot. You could do. I just don't know. There's a lot of stories you can do. You could even just go back to the fucking do Savage Land. Do the X-Men are kidnapped and this other team has to go save them. I don't know. Just do something that we haven't seen yet.
And I think that's the beauty. The direction they're going.
The beauty of
something we haven't seen.
Yeah, the thing that Marvel is really good at, and that DC could take a page out of their playbook, is they make a movie, they call it something that you're very familiar with, like Civil War or Winter Soldier, and then they don't do exactly.
They don't do the thing.
They don't do it.
But they give you enough to satisfy you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think as much as I think that Captain America Civil War has a lot of problems, and I wish it was more of a Captain America movie, it's better than the Civil War comic book, which in retrospect is not very good.
Yeah.
So what do they do? I don't know what they do.
WandaVision or Doctor Strange 2 seem like the logical starting points for mutants.
And and they already have Phase 4 mapped out for 3 years. So it's not going to be until
2025 or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like I would not expect anything.
I'm glad Fantastic Four is coming first.
I am too, because you kind of need, especially unfortunately now that Chadwick Boseman has passed, you kind of need another alpha character.
Yeah.
And that's what Reed Richards kind of is. He's like an elder statesman kind of leader. You don't have Tony, you don't have Steve, you don't have T'Challa, unfortunately.
That's where John David Washington will come in. Reed Richards.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
I would love John David Washington.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right, let's move on.
I like the way he talks. He talks like Denzel, but not exactly.
He comforts me in many ways.
I like the way he talks.
Yeah.
He's got a good way of talking. All right.
We'll say that once per episode. What's the next question?
All right, next question. Good question. Has everyone finished collectively crying after watching Soul? That's Gingis Khan. Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, I'm
We're
done
good.
crying.
We
I
made it.
did. I did indeed.
We made it. All right. Antonio Stark, 714, the Italian Tony Stark. Mm-hmm. What is your go-to movie to rewatch during quarantine?
So I thought about this a little bit. It's been changing per season. In October, it was Beetlejuice.
Okay.
In December, it's been Muppets Christmas Carol.
Okay.
And in the summer, I watched a lot of TV this summer, so it was probably Community. Mm-hmm. Community, I've finished and started again, and finished and started again.
Yeah. I don't know that I've watched a movie more than once this year, honestly. I mean, not like a rewatch, like Tenet I watched more than once, but like a go-to where I'm like, I need a comfort movie. I would say that I don't know if I have one this year. We watched a lot of TV for sure.
Yeah.
Rewatched, like we rewatched Sopranos. I rewatched Entourage. I
I
Band of
watched
Brothers.
Sopranos as well. In like April, it was like, oh, this is a good time to do that.
I rewatched Big Bang Theory, all 10 seasons.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's huge. How do you watch that much TV?
I mean, I'm sure
playing video games is how.
There's probably like a half season that I didn't watch because it was just in the background and I was doing other things. Sure. So I mean, that with sitcoms, that's kind of the way it goes. We probably watched Zodiac was a movie that we watched. We would like kind of, if we got nothing, we'll just throw that on and watch half of it.
Start and stop. Yeah.
Yeah. And we both really like that movie, so probably that, I guess.
I watched it a couple weeks ago.
So good.
All
right.
Yeah, what's the next question?
Dev Dog. Why did Wonder Woman demolish the Middle Eastern soldiers but kindly subdue the American White House? Well,
there's definitely a difference between getting shot with an RPG and shot at with a little pew pew pistol.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
And the other thing.
We don't really need to say it, dude.
Yeah, no. I think the question answered the question.
Why did they do that? That's the real question. They shouldn't have done that.
I would say delete that.
All right. I would say I did rewatch that this year, by the way. You have to.
One of the greatest
all right,
of all time. Some kind of monster.
Gentleman Thug, X.
Yes.
Has Marvel's success ruined audience perception of superhero movies? This is a pretty good question.
Yeah, I don't think it has. I would say initially The Dark Knight ruined the audience's perception of superhero movies. I had like an hour-long conversation with a coworker who was like, "Yeah, I don't like the Marvel movies because why don't they just make them like The Dark Knight?" And it was like, well, you want different things from different movies.
The Dark Knight did ruin filmmaking.
Yeah.
In the sense that everything suddenly had to be dark. So to that guy's point, there's a bunch of shit that was ruined because of The Dark Knight, like Josh Trank's Fantastic Four. Why does it need to be dark? It doesn't need to be dark. It doesn't need to be serious.
Yeah. I don't. I would
say
maybe because they make so much money. Sure.
Well, has Marvel's success ruined audience perception of superhero movies? What it has done is raise the bar for quality. Mm-hmm. You know, I think that it's getting better. Like, I mean, Black Panther was nominated for Best Picture last year, or 2 years ago.
It won Best Score.
You know, yeah. In the last 10 years, they're been
constantly improving.
12 years. Two different Jokers have won Best Actor. So I think that the Marvel movies have made other comic book writers or filmmakers feel like they had to make a better movie, which is ultimately good. I think that
not many
Wonder
have done
Woman
yet.
outside of Marvel,
Yeah,
I would say Shazam stands up to any Marvel
Shazam
movie.
is the one. Shazam is the one that is as good as any Marvel movie.
Yeah, and I think Wonder Woman is better than the back 10 of
For sure.
Marvel movies.
For sure.
But
up until
yeah,
my like top 10 or 12.
Yeah,
I would
say
Wonder
so too.
Woman over any of them. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say that I think a lot of movies are going to benefit from being seen at home. Like you said, Tenet is probably a better movie to see at home because you
Dude,
can
I
kind of
had
dissect
the
it.
fucking greatest time.
I think
I rewound it at one point. I was like, what did
I
they
think
just say?
Wonder Woman suffered from not being in theaters.
Yeah, I would agree.
When you're in theaters, you don't have time to think about how bad something is usually.
No,
or like the
there's
minutia of like
popcorn.
why something is bad.
Right.
So, all right. Dylan X Warall, what's the best war movie and why is it Black Hawk Down? Discuss.
You take this one, War Man.
Black Hawk Down's pretty good. I haven't watched it in a long time. I think Black Hawk Down is. I mean, I wasn't in the army, but it's hard for me to watch things that are too similar to experiences that I've had, because I see them differently. And
Mm-hmm.
Black Hawk Down is a bad example because it's obviously not anything that I experienced, but like The Hurt Locker, I watched that and it's like a bad movie to me.
Wow. Because it just hits too close to home?
No, like I see all the things that are wrong with it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I think I actually have watched Platoon the most recently, and that movie still holds up to me. I love Platoon. But if I'm trying to watch something war related, I usually watch Band of Brothers or Generation Kill or something like that.
Band of Brothers is like the best war. It's like the Sopranos of war.
Yeah, it is.
Like, there's no real reason to make more war stuff from that era because they did everything.
They did it. I mean, outside of Dunkirk, what's the last World War II anything?
Schindler's List.
Well, that was before Band of Brothers.
Exactly. Heavily inspired. Saving Private Ryan was the OG gold standard.
Yeah, no, Black Hawk Down is really good. It feels really good. It's a
I don't think it's the best war movie, but it's a great movie.
It's hard for me to argue it, but I would say my favorite is, if we're just talking straight up movies, is probably Platoon or honestly Dunkirk. I love Dunkirk a lot.
You do.
I do.
You do.
All right. At Zoo Yorker 20, best movie discovery during quarantine.
So I didn't have a lot of movie discoveries, but I had a lot of big TV discoveries. The one that really started my descent into British madness.
British Colin, here we go.
Broadchurch is one of the best things I've ever seen. It's on Netflix. It's a British crime drama with David Tennant, Olivia Colman, and like it's perfect. Perfect. Wouldn't change a thing.
Okay.
So that's a big one. One of the best things I've ever seen. Best writing. Like the acting is insane. The story is fucking crazy, and it just keeps getting crazier. Yeah.
Best movie discovery during quarantine. I don't think I have one. I don't know that I've discovered something new.
You didn't watch anything that you hadn't seen before that you liked?
No. I mean, I'm looking at my recently purchased. Hold on. Oh, you know what I did start watching for the first time is that is old, is Twin Peaks. I never watched it.
First season's amazing.
And I'm only on the second.
I don't really care for anything else. Oh, okay. Well, honestly, the first episode,
it's a movie.
I had to watch it like 5 times to like it at all.
Yeah, this is my second go around because I watched it and I was like, I don't give a fuck about this. It's too corny.
The rest of the
score
season
is so good.
Dude, the score is absolutely perfect. That's what kept me going.
It.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, the score is really good. Based on Taylor's recommendation, I bought the Hobbit extended. Now that it's in 4K and remastered,
Did you watch
I was a
it?
big Hobbit shit talker because the frame rate made me sick, like physically.
It's insane. It made no sense. It was the weirdest gimmick. It's stupid.
So I started it. I haven't finished the first one, but it's better.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Here's a perfect one. Train to Busan. It's a couple years
Great
old.
movie.
I finally saw it around Halloween because it was on sale.
Amazing movie.
It blew my pants off. I loved it.
And now there's a sequel that's out.
And there is. I bought it and I haven't watched it. I heard it's unrelated to the original storyline.
Dope.
So makes me not really want to watch it.
Well, that's a good new movie.
Yeah. All right. At John Binks, how's dad life? It's good. He's got teeth now.
Is he biting you?
No, not really. At X Record Shape X, top 5 movie scores of 2020. I'll let you take this one because I don't really got much for it.
3 of the 5 are the 3 movies we talked about today.
Okay.
And Mank is the other one, which was
you watched Mank?
Yeah, it's good. I don't know if I ever need to see it again.
You know, I'm a Fincher head, and for some reason I haven't been compelled to watch it. I don't know why.
It's just like not like the idea of what it's about was not that interesting to me. But it is a really good movie. Mm-hmm. It's well made. It looks awesome, and the score is probably going to win the Academy Award. I would think. The other best score of the year is Doom Eternal. Absolutely incredible. Well, hey,
let's take a break because I want to, not a break, but pause because we're going to do your little video game thing since we missed it last week.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll get there.
Yeah, Doom Eternal, best score of the year. Right.
That's the last question. So if you want to talk about games, let me start because mine is faster.
Sure.
I played a lot of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But I did not play Warzone. I don't like Warzone.
Really?
It's too big, and I don't like it. I like playing multiplayer, but I don't like battle royale anything.
Sure.
And so I still played a ton of multiplayer. I bought all the tiers and the passes. I played maybe 10 hours of Ghost of Tsushima, which I loved.
What are you doing?
Well, as Elliot got older, I started having to watch him more. He wasn't sleeping all day. So I was playing less and less video games.
God.
I know.
Dude,
beautiful game though.
So there was like 8 games this year that absolutely ruined your sleep schedule type games, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You're waking up at 8 a.m. because you're so excited to play it. You're going to bed at 3 a.m. The first one of the year was Doom Eternal.
Mm-hmm.
Then I believe The Last of Us Part 2 or Ghost of Tsushima. Okay. One of those came out first. But though, like Ghost of Tsushima was, to me, like this experience I've been waiting for my entire life.
It really was like, okay, I like Red Dead, I like Assassin's Creed, but I would love a Japanese version of that.
And to me, it goes so far beyond that because it's like Assassin's Creed, they don't know what the fuck they're doing anymore. Now they're just trying to make The Witcher 3, but they're not making an interesting enough story to compete with it.
Yeah, you were playing that and then telling us how it was, and
it's honestly like still sickening to me.
It looked cool.
Yeah, I guess it looks cool, but like I played it after I played Demon's Souls, which is the best game this year.
Ever? This year.
It's the best looking console game ever, for sure. Like 100%. But yeah, Assassin's Creed Valhalla just really just really made me sick. I really hated it. Last of Us 2, I don't understand the backlash about it.
Was there? I only saw good stuff.
There's a weird anti Last of Us 2 community online because of. I get why one aspect, because we're getting into spoilers here, but so skip like 10 seconds. The main character from the first one dies in the first hour.
Uh-huh.
And then you play as the woman who killed him.
Oh,
for
sick.
a while. And at first you're sitting there thinking, I can't wait to fucking kill this person. I can't wait till I get the chance to kill her. And then she's the best part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's such a brilliant way to tell stories, and there's no game like that exists. Where you're seeing that kind of second perspective, and that every villain in somebody's eyes is the hero in their eyes. It was like crazy. It was a brave thing to do, because I'm sure they're thinking we're gonna get shit for this, and the shit that they got for it is insane. And then Ellie is a lesbian, and that's a whole other thing that people are like, this fucking white feminist hero lesbian shit has got to stop. You haven't seen enough white straight man hero characters in your life.
These are remnants of Gamergate, huh?
100%. It's just 4chan, really a fucking girl, and she's 10 times more interesting than Joel was, and then Abby is more interesting than she was. I'm getting off here. Demon Souls is king. I feel like we could do a whole episode on Cyberpunk 2077, but
you want to save it? We can. I'm sure someone's going to ask about it. It's been all over the news the last 2 weeks.
I know, and I was riding for it so hard. I was going to bat for it.
I watched a crazy video where it compared the things you can do in GTA 5 that you can't do in Cyberpunk, and it was simple stuff like shooting out tires, shooting into water, getting hit by a car is the same no matter where you get hit.
Same animation.
Yeah, stuff that they did 8 years ago in GTA 5.
Because they've been making the game for 8 years.
I mean, that's the smart way to do it, but
it's crazy.
It's just so funny,
And that was something I realized today. I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, and in the bar in the beginning of the movie, there's a dartboard, and you can just play darts.
Right.
And The Witcher 3 had Gwent, which is a better card game than Texas Hold'em. They made the best card game ever and just put it in this RPG as a side thing.
Right.
Gwent itself is better than Cyberpunk 2077. The side game in The Witcher 3, to me, by the end, I had a great time throughout every second of Cyberpunk until I finished it.
Ah, and then this is Wonder Woman all over again.
There's 10 endings, and all of them suck. So
do you think they're going to recover from this? Build the game?
Yes.
Continue to build the game?
100%. In 2 or 3 years, it's going to be a completely different experience. They couldn't deliver on their promises. And it happens all the time. Which is fucking stupid. Because
it happens all the time, but not to this,
No.
This is they flopped hard. This is a hard flop.
But it's not. That's the crazy thing. After refunds, 13 million copies sold.
But they only refunded the digital, right?
Yeah, after all that, 13 million copies. That's what,
$60 times 13 million?
Yes.
It's a lot of
guacamole. Yeah. So they're fine. They're going to be making games forever, but the shareholders fucked them.
No, I'm talking about the game though. Are they going to rebuild the game?
Yeah, 100. They're going to add stuff and subtract stuff and do.
Right.
Hopefully, they're there was no. They made this huge, beautiful city, and aside from driving, there's really nothing to do in it.
Really?
Like you
That's
you can get some beer, you can get alcohol and drink it at a bar, but like I can't go to a casino. I can't do anything. There's no like activity. There's side missions where stuff happens, but like there's no. I can't just like go like Red Dead.
It's kind of like Spider-Man.
Yeah,
where it's open world, but really it's like you can go on the roof,
and like, but like that makes sense when you're Spider-Man,
right?
Because you're basically swinging around looking for crimes to stop,
right? But I'm saying like that's the world basically.
That's it.
Yeah,
you're looking for secrets and missions and.
You played Miles Morales too, right?
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
I would say like it's obviously too short. It's a 20-hour game, but the mechanics and like the combat and everything is better than the original one to me. But the original one to me is like one of the best Spider-Man stories told on screen by far.
Do you think that remastering of games is going to be the new thing? Is it the next thing?
For a while, I think with like a next generation that is like so as powerful as the PS5 and the Xbox Series X are, and with the success of Demon's Souls right now, and Final Fantasy VII is getting like Game of the Year awards,
and even Tony Hawk, like a ton of people.
Tony Hawk was huge. It was huge, and it was
I bought
40 exactly.
Yeah,
$40 for the first two games remastered.
Yeah,
with the jump in quality, it's like a no-brainer. Because it's like an easy $100 million that these companies can make.
Yeah, imagine Metal Gear Solid.
It's gonna happen.
Remaster. Imagine a Knights of the Old Republic remaster.
Dude, that's all Microsoft had to do to like
honestly
as a launch
dude.
title.
I love the memeability of an Xbox purchase.
Honestly, it's much like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It just makes me sick to think about it.
That anyone would buy.
I want one, but then I think, what am I gonna fucking do with it?
So is it PS5
zero first party.
Zero games.
What the fuck? Like, and after your console, where the whole problem is that you didn't have enough first party games.
Yeah.
It should have been the first fucking thing before they started making the console. They should have made a game for the console.
So are people buying the Xbox because they like the controller? Is that the only reason at this point?
I don't know. Well, like that was the one thing they really had going for them. And now the DualSense has become the king of controllers.
It looks, I mean, it has that kind of more rounded shape.
It's the most comfortable controller I've ever used, and it has these crazy science features that nothing else has. It's amazing. Astro's Playroom.
Oh yeah, did you play anything on Switch? Anything new?
I played a lot of Mario 3D All-Stars when that came out.
Oh yeah.
Because it was like playing the best game ever again.
Would you buy an Xbox for Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah. I'm gonna get one at some point. It's just like there's no reason to.
Why? Why would you get one?
Because they own Bethesda and Obsidian and all these studios now.
That's true.
There's gonna be exclusive to in 2 to 3 years. It's gonna be cool.
2 to 3.
But like,
that's how I felt with PS4. The reason I didn't buy a PS5 right away is because I shot myself in the foot buying a PS4 the first week it was out.
But of course they learned their lesson and they were like, hey, we need a solid first year of launch titles. So they made the best launch lineup ever.
Yeah.
And then we're like, here's dates for the next 7 games that we have.
Right. Dude, there was one full year I did not buy. The only game I had for like almost a full year was GTA 5, which I had already had for PS3.
Which was a PS3 game. But like they learned that lesson, and Microsoft, that was their whole problem the entire console's lifespan.
Yeah.
Yet they still didn't think to be like
Halo, dude.
They put everything into Halo, which is now delayed a full year.
I couldn't believe that when I saw that. So funny.
And the last Halo game is straight up bad.
Is it? I didn't
It's
play
terrible. And now all the directors, like, it just makes me sick. It makes me sick to talk about this. I'm guessing nobody's listening anymore.
We talked about enough about this. All right.
Yeah, we won't talk about video games often, I swear. But
we're gonna put the link for the Patreon in the description. We'll go through the Patreon next week and talk about it. For any of you that were Patreon subscribers last go around, these are more manageable for us, and I think actually more fun for you guys. So yeah, we'll talk about it next week. So
thanks for joining us again.
Thank you very much, and the audio for last week should be up on your podcast if you care to listen that way. All right, thanks a lot.
I love you. Roll it.